What is up, FBG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I think the community has a lot of questions about and still need some answers on. Not to mention, we were talking about this on stream today at length, where you can actually catch my streams over on Twitch at twitch.tv/furtherbeyondgaming. You like that transition? I worked on that a lot. Anyways, and that's where these clips are from also. What we were talking about on stream and what I believe the community has a lot of questions about is how to properly build the Raiden Shogun per her artifact set. So I did want to go ahead and talk about this. Now there's a few things that I do have to mention beforehand, and that is, one, it's actually going to take some testing with the Raiden Shogun. She's not as simple as other characters in Genshin Impact per her kit, in my opinion. I think it's going to take some testing to really nail down the most optimal way to build her. But this is also just my opinion and what I'm seeing on paper and what I believe is going to work the best for her. So if you guys have a different build, or if you have a different opinion on what you think is going to be the best or the most optimal, please let me know in the comments down below. I love to read your guys' comments. I love discussing it with you, and it's always a good time, just as long as you're being constructive. That's all I ask for. So let's talk about it. Now, when it comes to the build for the Raiden Shogun, a lot of people are wondering what type of main stat should you go on your sands, your cup, and your circlet or helm. That is, I think, the most common questions that are being asked, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion right now. So what I believe the best artifact build when it comes to the Raiden Shogun is going to be, when it comes to your sands, I think you're going to want to go with an energy recharge percent stand. That's just my opinion. I'm going to go more into detail here in just a second. For the cup, I'm leaning, now this is where it gets the most difficult. I'm leaning towards an attack percent, but I'm open to the idea of an electro damage one. I think the attack percent is going to be more beneficial, but I will be testing an electro damage cup as well, just to get a comparison. Now when it comes to the helm or the circlet, I think it's just really dependent on what you have more of. And what I mean by that is, for example, if you're really high on your crit rate, you might want to go with the crit damage helm, and vice versa. If you're high on your crit damage, then you may want to supplement a crit rate helm. That goes for just about any character in Genshin Impact, and you just have to see what your character build is leaning towards and then kind of fill in the gaps from there. Now with the substats, you're obviously going to want to have the normal substats: attack percent, energy recharge, crit rate, crit damage is what you're really going to want to be focusing on. But the artifact set as a whole, I think you're going to want to go with the Emblem of Severed Fate. I think that's just kind of, common knowledge at this point, just because of the 2-piece bonus is going to give you an additional energy recharge, and then the 4-piece is going to increase your elemental burst damage by your energy recharge by 25%, and a maximum of 75% bonus damage can be attained in this way. It's just the most applicable. It's best in slot. That's what you're going to want to build out. Is there other sets that you can supplement, like 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Thundering Fury? Of course, you can definitely go that route, especially if you have them laying around. But if you're asking me what the best set is going to be, this one is just going to be the best set. Now, of course, like with my other videos, I cannot go into specific details or go into hard numbers with the Raiden Shogun until MiHoYo officially releases the information about her themselves. But what I can say is the reason why I would state to go with an energy recharge percent sands, at least in my opinion, is because within the Raiden Shogun's kit, the more energy recharge you have, the harder she's going to hit. And that's about as detailed as I can get when it comes to that. You're basically going to want to try and get as much energy recharge as you possibly can, which is not going to be difficult even for a free-to-play player. It's not going to be difficult to have high energy recharge on the Raiden Shogun. You can just trust me. And once again, once they officially release the information, I'm going to go more into detail and go more in specifics with you guys. But you could just take my word for it. It's not going to be difficult to get that high energy recharge. Now, that is for the sands. For the cup, the reason why I'm leaning towards the attack percent is because within the Raiden Shogun's kit, a part of her passive, basically with being as vague as possible, the higher energy recharge you have, the more electric damage bonus you're going to receive. So the way I'm looking at it and how I'm kind of theorizing, once again, this is going to take some testing in my opinion, but the way I am theorizing is that with the Energy recharge being as high as you can possibly get it, which is not going to be difficult. It may supplement the electro damage bonus that you would receive from the cup anyways, where if that is the case, you can then focus on having an attack percent cup and still have the electro damage bonus built within her kit. If that makes sense, I hope that wasn't too complicated and I hope that wasn't too convoluted. And once again, this is very frustrating without going into specifics, and I'm trying to be very general on purpose, and I hope I'm not ruining anything for anybody, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, and if I am, I do truly apologize. Moving on to her helm or her circlet, I think it's very obvious with the crit rate or crit damage, especially if you want the Raiden Shogun to output the most damage as possible. But going back to the cup, like I mentioned before, it's going to take some testing, and I'm going to test out both the electro damage cup and the attack percent cup. I want to get your guys' opinion on what you think down below as well, to see, especially you theory crafters, and especially the ones that are very good at math, like I am not. I want to get your guys' take and see what you think. But just to kind of TLDR what we've talked about, when it comes to the Raiden Shogun's artifacts, you're definitely going to want to go with the Emblem of Severed Fate, and you're going to want to go with the 4-piece set on that. It's just going to be best in slot. For the sands, you're going to want to go with the energy recharge percent, in my opinion. Of course, I think that's going to be the most beneficial, because you want the Raiden Shogun to have as much energy recharge as possible, which I forgot to mention. You don't want to build so much energy recharge that you are sacrificing attack and crit rate and crit damage to try and reach an absurd amount of energy recharge, because things will start to fall off and there's a certain threshold. You'll be sacrificing damage if you do that, much like with Hu Tao, how people wanted to go max HP, you know, like for example a crit, not a crit, excuse me, a helm or circlet HP, to try and boost her HP as high as possible. You're gonna be falling off on damage if you do that, and it's gonna be the same with the Raiden Shogun. You don't want to build so much energy recharge. What you want to do is you want to get the sands with the energy recharge, and then let your substats and the other things that are gonna come into play supplement the energy recharge to get even higher. So don't go so crazy that you're doing like a energy recharge something else. Just focus on the sands and then you should be good. Cup attack percent is going to be the way I believe you should go, but I'm going to test the electro damage bonus, and then we talked about the helm and circlet already. So hopefully this video helped. Hopefully I wasn't too confusing. Once again, I know I say that each and every single time, but I just want to make sure that I'm helping you guys to the best of my ability, and I'm providing you the best information that I possibly can when it comes to the Raiden Shogun. And once again, once we can get into the nitty-gritty, once we can get into specifics and to some hard concrete numbers, that's when the fun's really going to start, and it's going to be an absolute blast. Anyways guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I hope it helped. And thank you guys so much for all the support. I do truly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.